What do you think about
it? Feels so good.
Rob acts like he got paid.
King of the world.
Rob thinks Stop it.
MLB money is king of the world. Come on, R knows. Come on, Chris. Give me one. MLB money is king of the world.
Enough. 12 years, $430 million for Mike Trout. Dwarfs the previous record that Bryce Harper set, three weeks ago?
Didn't take long.
13 years, $330 million. And it's huge. It's the biggest sports contract in American sports history.
Yes.
It was Canelo Alvarez with DAZN, his boxing deal, which was $65 million short of what Mike Trout just banked. And good for him. And what are your thoughts? You're the baseball guy. What do you think about it?
I was blown away. And you know what? I think there's a lot of factors that go with it, Chris. First of all, when you talk about analytics, and we talk about it all the time, he checks all the boxes. He does everything.
Traditional stats, analytics, everything.
Everything. So there's no whether or not he's the best player. Most people who know baseball know he is. He can run, he can throw, he can catch, he can hit for power, he can hit for average, he walks. Right. He does everything that you would want. So there's
he's good with the fans. He's not a charismatic personality, but locally
they love him.
He's great at the ballpark.
They love him. So when you add all that in, he's a clean-cut kind of guy. He's somebody you want to be the face of your franchise. And I just think Moreno, the owner of the Angels, because and I do give Bryce Harper a little bit of credit here. When he went public, Chris, and was like, yeah, we're gonna
backfire.
Yes, but I think it sparked the Angels to say, "Oh no, not for the next 2 years are we gonna let this guy woo our player, and then we won't be able to re-sign him." So they didn't wait, and they gave. You hear this all the time. Oh, they offered me a deal I couldn't refuse. No, they offered him when they didn't say, "Well, Bryce Harper got $330, we'll give you $350." Or $335. They said, no, we'll give you $100 million more
in fewer years.
Yes, than the best deal that was out there. And if you're Mike Trout, you can't hesitate. I don't hesitate about what? $430 guaranteed.
You could hesitate, and I'm gonna tell you why.
No, you can't hesitate.
He doesn't now. Apparently, he doesn't want one. But it was the same thing with Bryce Harper. Why are these players not getting opt-outs?
This isn't the NBA.
I don't care what it is. If you've lost, first of all, they haven't made the playoffs in 7 of his 8 years. So what if they make the playoffs once in the next 5 years, get bounced early again? He's yet to win a playoff game. And at some point, 5-6 years from now, he's like, you know what? I want a chance to win. I'm not saying you get one after 3 years, but get an opt-out after 7 or 8 years.
But I think it's the other way around. That teams have made this financial commitment, and either you're all in or you're not. You're looking at it as, Chris, you know this being married. When you go in,
this isn't marriage.
No, just hear me out.
This isn't marriage.
When you get married, you don't go in, and a lot of people, you don't try to think about, well, let me get an opt-out after 6 years or 7 years if it doesn't work. Now,
people do get a prenup.
I use my opt-out after 5, but most of the time,
Did you get a prenup?
No, we didn't have a prenup.
I didn't get a prenup, but people do get prenups.
No, but that doesn't
marriage. I mean,
no,
look, that's not a good analogy because marriage is different.
No,
than
but to me,
it's
like you want to believe that this is where you want to be. You've made a commitment. They've made a commitment. You're not looking on the outside saying, oh, this is not going to work in 5. You don't want to go into it feeling that way. So I'm just saying I understand why a team would say either you want this or you don't. Either you want to be here or not.
Do we know that?
I believe that to be the case because if a player could probably get an escape clause at some point, it's always safe to have one. But if a team told me no, either you're in with us or you're not, and this is the deal. We're in this together. Our goal is to try to win. I'm signing you as the cornerstone of this franchise, and I'm going to put other pieces around you. And my goal as the owner of the Angels is to win a championship. That's what I'm here for. And if you feel convinced that this guy is trying to win, then that's why I'm saying
that's been the goal for the past 7 years.
Yeah, but
we made it once.
Yeah, but it didn't work. I'm not saying
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Look, Mike Trout has the clout to be like.
I don't think
he
so.
has. What?
Nope.
If he went on the open market in 2 years, he might get $500 million.
And if he gets hit in the face tomorrow in the preseason, in the spring training game,
but the Chris, are butts. Hold on, you didn't say that if an NFL player sits out. I mean, and you don't.
No, that was the reason I agree with Le'Veon Bell for sitting out. It's because if he got hurt, he wouldn't have got the money. This is right in line with what I'm talking about. If somebody puts 430, this isn't all NFL players all over the country today. You know what they said? How much is that is guaranteed? Hello? All of it. All 430. There ain't no phony, funky numbers where they're telling you, well, Mike Trout has 300 guaranteed, and then no, it's all guaranteed. So my point is, when somebody puts that money on the table, you gotta grab it. And you know what?
You're the best player in the league. You're on pace to arguably be the best player ever. Like you said, they were afraid. They didn't want him going to Philly. They certainly didn't want him going to the Dodgers in a few years. 8 years. 8 years, give me an opt-out.
You just came up with an arbitrary number.
No,
it's not an arbitrary
doesn't mean
number.
anything.
What does 8 years
does mean something. You got me locked up for 8 years.
But what does that
If we can't win in 8 years, then maybe we need to part ways.
So what happens if they win next year? I'm just saying. So
he
then
doesn't
what?
have to take the opt-out. He's good enough where he deserved an opt-out. Now, he doesn't want it. That's his prerogative.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Just saying,
it's obvious.
I don't get. Well, actually, you're saying maybe he did want it, and the team was like, no.
I'm just telling you, if I'm a team owner and I'm giving up that kind of money and that kind of commitment to, just like Bryce Harper didn't get one, I'm committing.
Bryce Harper didn't want one. I don't know why.
That's what he said.
Because he left money on the table.
That's what he said. I'm not so sure when they say that publicly that that's the case. I'm just saying if I'm giving you the money and I'm making this kind of commitment to you, I want you to be fully invested, fully committed.
What do you think?
If you have an opt-out and you can bounce, just like LeBron went to Miami for 4 years and he decided Dwayne Wade's old, I don't know about Chris Bosh, Pat Riley won't let my partners do what they want to do, so now I'm a bounce from Miami. That's why you don't want that.
That's 4 years, Rob.
No, but that's not a commitment.
8 years. 8 years. The Lakers just signed LeBron for 4 years. I'm not talking about getting opt-out after 4. 8 years.
Yeah, but the difference.
And heck, it could work out for the team. Maybe he's declined by then.
All I'm going to say is, hear me out, Sports America. Major League Baseball is the money king of the world.
King of the world.
King of the world. That's what
Major League Baseball is. No.
No.
Why are you so excited?
I just can't get over because we sat here, Chris, and talked about how slow it was for these free agents to get signed. That's all. And you remember Tony Clark, the union president, was questioning, what's going on here. And all I got to say is the owners have come around. Not everybody, and there's other things that other players need to be worked out so that they get deals. But you can't say anymore that they're not willing to pay for the talent in the league because they just blew away with 3 signings in the last month, or what has been 3 weeks. I mean, money-wise, it's incredible. That I've never been blown away by money than I was today. I really did. 430 guaranteed.
Well, he's worth it individually.
Weren't you shocked by that number, the money number?
I mean, the money, man. The money. All these contracts are crazy. So I wasn't knocked off my feet, but it was huge.
I didn't think he would get. I thought that they would offer 350, 360. I just didn't think that they would go that extra 100 right out the bat before there's anybody else bidding against him. So technically, he had 2 years left. They're bidding against themselves.
In 2 years, he may have been able to get $500 million. So that's why I'm saying
I wouldn't trust that. I could get out and get hit by a car tomorrow. I'm just saying.
Of course, we can both walk out of here and get hit by a car tonight.
No, but the difference is when you have a deal on the table, it's different to say, I'm a holdout and there's no deal on the table, then I might bet on myself. But once somebody commits that money and puts it on the table in front of me, I'm grabbing it. I'm not going to have anything. What if Mike Trout stinks the next 2 years?
He won't.
I'm just saying, those are all possibilities.
As good as Bryce Harper is,
they're all
he's
possibilities.
Not Bryce Harper.
I'm just saying.
This dude bats 300 every year.
But people have bad years, and maybe you have a bad year right before your contract year.
Well, Bryce did it, and he still got 330.
He did. He didn't get 430 though.
He's not Mike Trout. All right, your turn to weigh in.
Wow.
877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Are these Major League Baseball contracts too long?
No way, no how.
12 years. 13 years for Bryce Harper. How good are these guys going to be in 8 years? Marty in Kentucky, you're on with Chris and Rob. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Man, great.
Now, we're talking about baseball today, and I'm going to tell you guys, honestly, I'm not a huge baseball fan. But I'm going to twist this a little bit
so
we can talk about the subject and still talk about sports I like. You two both are always talking about players standing up for each other, to get what they're worth.
Right.
And to me, these monstrous contracts that baseball is getting, and baseball is losing popularity. It's not as popular as the NFL and the NBA. You would think that players from the NFL and NBA would be watching this and seeing these ridiculous contracts and seeing that Major League Baseball still has parity. They never have repeat champions. They haven't since the Yankees in the 90s. That you would think that they would be pushing to get rid of salary cap.
Well, with that's a good point. But the NBA, the best players can get like a 5-year, $230 million deal.
The best is 207.
Yeah, but they're shorter. So per year, they're comparable to what baseball's getting. And Anthony Davis could have got a 5-year like 230, close to 240. So they're comparable in terms of money per year. Football's the one that's really just and basketball doesn't make as much as baseball either. Baseball made what, 11 billion?
11 billion.
Basketball's making 4 billion roughly. So they make less, but football's the one, and we've talked about that.
Football makes
of all the guys that should get guaranteed deals. I have no problem. I like baseball and basketball players getting them, but football me,
and even if they got a 3-year or real contract, that's my point.
It had to be shorter.
If it's 3 years and it's guaranteed money, and then if that player exceeds his contract, he could go get another one.
Right.
If he doesn't, then you could cut him, or he can, take less money. But the phony contracts with 8 years and only a half of it is guaranteed, that's the part that I don't have a problem. Now, as far as this is the thing that I don't get when people say ridiculous contract. You're only worth what someone's willing to pay you. You can't blame the players for taking the money that this is the market.
I don't think anybody's blaming the players.
But the market dictates it, and the owners, Chris, if they could give Mike Trout less, like say half of that money, say $215 million, and they could get away with it as far as an owner, they would do that.
Right.
It's the market that dictates that it's 430, not the Angels owner. Do you know what I mean? It's not him, it's the market, and that's the part that people don't always get.
And look, I don't like the long contracts, the 10 to 13-year deals, but if you're an owner, they may be getting some value out of this. Because, Trout, when he's 39, he's obviously not going to be nearly as good, but contracts keep rising too. Like we talked about it, Bryce Harper's going to be underpaid in what?
3 years?
7, yeah, not even. I was going to say 7 and give him that. But
because we talked about the other guys coming up.
$25 million a year.
Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge. What does Aaron Judge get?
Yeah,
right when his time comes.
He could top Trout because even though he's not as good, he's more marketable
and more personable.
Right.
He's in with the Yankees. There's a chance. So 877-99 on Fox.
Let's go to Craig in Maine. Craig, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey guys, how we doing tonight?
Doing great.
Love the show.
Thank you.
I can't stand the long contracts. I think, minimum 3 years, and there's a guarantee you can opt out. You shouldn't be able to not opt out of a contract. It kills the game. It makes it boring. There's no excitement. You can't build a dynasty anymore. Like in football, there's so much free agency, and it's great. But I just think it makes the game more boring.
But Craig, the same teams in the NFL are in the playoffs most of the time. I mean, we're
No,
talking.
you do see a lot of worst to first in the NFL.
No, but I'm saying, the Patriots have won 3 of the last.
They're the dynasty.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
Other than that, you got Pittsburgh mostly.
I can
but
name you
outside
10
of
teams that don't have a shot in the NFL every year. The Lions. There's
the
plenty
Lions
of teams.
are horrible, but mostly
The Cleveland
you see
Browns.
this year, the Cleveland Browns going to
Yeah,
win
but
the
this
NFC
is
North.
after how many years? Jim Brown worked in the.
They were
Jim
an
Brown was
outlier.
in the 60s.
They were an outlier, though. They were an out. I mean, you see, Kansas City was horrible a few years ago. Now, all of a sudden, they're a contender.
Yeah, but
San
I'm just saying.
Francisco was great. Now they're down. They
But
could
they've
be
been
good
down
again.
20 years, is what I'm saying. The
Well,
49ers. Not 20. Since
No, not 20.
Kaepernick.
I mean,
since
hard,
Kaepernick.
yeah, they got to the Super Bowl. So in football, you do see a lot of teams. I think everybody's got a chance in football.
Dennis in Oklahoma, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, what's going on, Rob and Chris, man? Hey, it's like Pac and a Cube on the radio. What I was going to say.
Oh, man, appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
No doubt. What I was going to say, I agree with y'all about the market, but it's just one pet peeve, man. Unless you won a World Series, can y'all either look yourselves in the mirror and pay this guy if he's just going to get you over the top?
Here's the thing, though. It's different in baseball, man. Barry Bonds, the best player I've ever seen.
Best player I've ever seen as well.
Right.
He never won a World Series, but that didn't take away from his greatness.
Because
so
you
be
need
careful
pitching.
of that.
A dude could hit 400 with 70 home runs and not have pitching.
And they were in the World Series against the Angels. Bonds hit 500 in that series.
Right.
Is that his fault that they didn't win?
It's just we get where you're coming from, Dennis, and that's because that's how we think in basketball and football, and rightfully so. Football with quarterbacks,
but it ain't the same.
Think about it. When I name the best quarterbacks ever, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, so on and so forth, you know how many rings they won. The best basketball players, Wilt, LeBron, Magic, Jordan, you know how many rings. Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron. Do we
Willie
even
Mays
think
won.
We don't think of rings.
No, because
and you know, because I mean, somebody may know, but you know what I mean. That's not the first.
I
thing
know
that comes
Derek
to
Jeter
mind.
won 5. I know Mariano Rivera, but those are recent players.
Right.
You do know
and
those.
Yankees
but I'm
too.
with you. Right.
You know what I mean? It's just we don't think of it.
You don't look at it the same way because it takes so much more.
It's a different sport. All right, we asked you to weigh in on the Mike Trout contract. Too long, too big. What do you think about
it? Feels so good.
Rob acts like he got paid.
King of the world.
Rob thinks he Stop it.
MLB money is king of the world. Come on, R knows. Come on, Chris, give me one. MLB money is king of the world.
Enough. Dominic in Florida, you're on with Chris and Rob. What's happening?
I enjoy both you guys
Thank you.
on TV, on the radio. Respect your opinion. I think the Angels panic, though. I think the contracts usually go up in small increments, $10 million more per year for the lifetime of the contract. They gave him $100 million more than Harper. I think the Angels didn't want the Yankees or Phillies to get their grubby hands on Trout after next season, and that's why they gave him the $100 million.
Dominic, I don't disagree, and you know what? I think when Harper came out publicly saying he was recruiting Trout, I think you're right. The Angels got scared.
Because I was thinking, he's from Southern New Jersey.
He grew up as a Phillies fan.
Yeah, he might want to go back. But that's why I think Trout had the leverage where he could have been like, if he wanted it, didn't want it, where he could have been like, just put an opt-out in after 8 or 9, whatever, and we're good.
$100 million. Hey, Conrad in Georgia. Yep, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got?
Hey, good. There's nothing much, guys. I'm happy to talk to you guys. I listen to y'all every day.
Thank you, buddy.
But I want to say about that contract is I'm just really astonished and just amazed how he got something that big. I wouldn't want to offer anyone something like that unless I know they're going to bring me championship after championship after championship.
It's just he's by far the best player in baseball.
Eye tests, analytic tests, I don't know, whatever else you want to look at.
He's on pace, Rob, to be one of the best players ever.
No,
if
absolutely.
Not the best, on pace.
Right, on pace.
I'm not saying he'll keep it up, but baseball, you just can't measure it by championships, though, as much as strange as it sounds.
No, I agree.
Today's landscape.
And you got Yogi Berra and Mickey Mantle 110 World Series, but people don't look at it that way. And the league was different.
And the Yankees are different,
right,
too.
It's just different.
All right, let's go to Kenyon in Austin. You're on with Chris and Rob.
So I'm fine with his contract. My problem is you said the opt-out should go to the player.
Yes.
It can go to the team because nobody's lived up to a 12-year contract and not fallen off.
No player's going to sign a
Right.
deal that lets a team opt out.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Not in baseball.
I get
Right,
where
but
you're
you're saying-
coming from. I get where you're coming from, but I'm looking at it from the player's perspective. But I get what you're saying, but it's not the same. If the team's got an opt out after 8, then it's really not.
It's not
$430
guaranteed.
million
It's
guaranteed
not.
dollars.
Absolutely.
So that's
It's
the
not
difference.
guaranteed. I'm paying you $430 million. You shouldn't be able to walk away from it either. I'm paying you as the best player ever.
No, that's
Well,
why.
that's probably how they feel. But I'm saying I think in this, and I do think Harper's the same way. I think they had the leverage where they could have got the opt out.
And I'm gonna say
it could benefit the team.
Yeah, but
it could benefit the team after 8 years.
But
or
I
whatever.
think it's the team that's saying, I want you to be fully committed, so we're not going to allow you to do that. Chris in California, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, fellas, I love listening to you guys' show every day, man.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm wondering if anybody else is amazed that over this contract, Mike Trout is going to be getting paid a third of what the whole franchise is worth. I mean, it's unbelievable how they can pay this guy this much money. Where's the money coming from?
You know what?
Well, they got a huge TV deal.
Chris, that's the part that a lot of people don't understand. It's like the Phillies. The Phillies signed before they got Harper. They had signed a $5 billion local TV package. These teams, Chris, have so much money coming in the revenue. That's just TV. That's not tickets,
Right.
not parking, not food, nothing. That's just, uniforms, hats.
Yep.
Let's squeeze the last one in.
Let's go to Sean in Sacramento. You're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, what's up, fella? What's up, Chris?
What's
up to the
happening, man?
Bobo Rob?
What's
How y'all
up?
doing?
Good.
So my question is, man, when you see a contract like that, record-breaking contract, and you also see the decline of baseball, my mind goes like, where is this money getting generated from? Like, are these like TV deals? Is this stadium allocations that are coming through? Like, where is that money coming from?
Baseball is $11 billion business, so people could say it's declining, but they still make a lot of money. There's 81 home games. There's 50,000 seat stadiums, right?
Right.
And tickets cost $25. You could get in the ballpark.
81 home games.
Concessions.
Think about that. That's twice
all
as
of that.
many as basketball.
There's a lot of money that's
the thing, right,
circulating.
you know what it's similar to, Rob? I think like when we talked with Jim Gray about boxing,
Right.
and we were like the decline of boxing and doesn't seem as popular, and he was like, hold on. It's wildly popular. Look at the purses these guys are getting. Mayweather made $285 million or $75 from his fight.
But there were no
with
games,
Conor
right?
McGregor.
There were no matches on TV
It
and all
doesn't
that. But
seem-
now,
yeah,
right?
now it seems more popular with fights on TV.